What did you use? You said guide.
Yeah. Like,
What a lovely word.
actually, I was going to say that's my job.
No, tell me, what's your name, man?
My name is Yasmin.
Yasmin. Yasmin, why don't we use this word when we are at work?
Which word?
This word guide. It's such a beautiful word. But when at work, why don't we use the word guide? Why do we always use the word control and lead? Could we do that? I mean, do we ever go out to one of our staff and say, let me guide you? Do we do that?
Yes, we do. But I don't.
That's great. Human ego. Could you just say it loudly? What did you say?
Human ego.
Human ego. The word ego spells out edging goodness out.
There is boss and ourselves.
Yeah. There is boss. And that boss comes from insecurity.
Yeah.
Right.
That boss inside you, it's like a small monster that keeps on wriggling out, from your noses and your ears. That comes out from insecurity. But if you know your job well, you don't have to be insecure. And just as I was saying, the word ego, as she pointed out correctly, ego stands for edging goodness out. Okay? So every time your ego comes to play, okay, how dare he say that? How dare she say that I don't know my work? How dare she say that this was incorrect? And you can now be aware that that little monster inside you with horns and tails is trying to crawl out of your nose. Okay? And that's an ugly sight. Performance assessment, conflict resolution, and that conflict can be between you and your staff. That conflict can be between two of your staff. The conflict can be between your department and another department. These are the four main situations. You and staff, staff and staff, and you and staff with other department. Performance assessment. Now, what is the basis of performance assessment? My wife has said to my son that if you want the new Xbox 30 or 50 or whatever they call it, you need to bring 50 in maths, science, and English and French this term. If you want a new Xbox 30, you need to get full marks in maths, science, and English and French this term. So what is the basis of performance assessment? Setting objectives.
Competency and competence.
Competencies are the tools with which we achieve the objectives. But before we ask someone to perform, we need to tell them what they need to do. KPIs, targets, and a solid induction program. An induction program, ladies and gentlemen, is not just the job of the HR. The induction program is also the job of the line manager. And assuming that each one of you sitting in this room is going to be heading or leading a department or an organization now or sometime, it is your job as well to design a correct induction, if not for anybody, but for your team. Don't become ambitious. But at least, Yasmin, since you are leading a team, organize an induction program for your team. Forget about what the HR is doing. And in that induction, you outline critically what are the requirements. Full marks in science, maths, English, and French. Okay, to your staff. And what happens if they get full marks? On the day one. And you need to review. It's not just you tell them and let go. You need to review periodically, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and follow up. Not just follow up, and to use the word you just used, which I love. What did you say? Guide. Guide. That, okay, I see that there is this gap between you and the target. Okay, how can I help you? How can I support you? How can I partner with you to bring up you to the learning curve? How can I partner with you to ensure that you get your annual bonus? And believe me, if you build that kind of a team, they will belong to you for the rest of your life. No matter which organization you go, they will follow you. And to them, because you will not be just a manager. Can someone say, what is the difference between a leader and a manager?
A leader is like a mentor to people. A leader is someone who delegates.
Delegates, mentor. One of the best examples of human resource manager that I use in my MBA session, I was just discussing with Khalida before the class started, especially in this region. Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him. He is the example of one of the best human resource manager that you can ever find. There is a book written by a gentleman from Saudi Arabia who has never been to college. And I've written the translated version of that book, which says that if you read your Quran, if you go back home today, and you sit down with that book, you will find the structure in it. Right recruitment. First of all, right outlining of policy. Right recruitment. Comprehensive training and development. Fair and unbiased performance appraisal. Okay? So if you guys go back home, try it. Try it. Try to see that book in a different light. That's an excellent example of a management book. And that is not telling you something different, which these guys are trying to tell you. And that was written long time back before we even designed these fancy management colleges. Human resource management is utilized by HR practitioners. HRM is the productive use of people. Productive use of people, as you have said out here very correctly. How to make the people, which is your resources, for a finance guy, for a finance manager, okay? His resource is the cash, the investment, the liquid assets or the other assets. For a logistics or a warehousing guy, his resources are the chairs, tables, projectors, house, warehouse, etc. But for you, as a manager, as a strategic manager, your resources are also people. And you need to be accountable for those resources, not just on the basis of their performance, but if you can improve the motivation, if you can improve the feeling level of those people in the organization, performance will come automatically. Organization's strategic business objectives and the satisfaction of individual employee needs. Look at the word they have used, satisfaction. How are you satisfied as an employee? You are satisfied first by extrinsic. Extrinsic, that is out. Salary. Rewards. Okay. Aren't you satisfied? Yes, ma'am? Working environment. What kind of environment am I working in? Do I have friends in the organization? Are the people with whom I spend 8 hours of the day, which is 1/3 of my life, are they good people? Do I like being with them? Is my supervisor a nice guy? Can I trust him? Are the policies in the organization fair and something that supports me?
Acknowledgement. Okay.
Acknowledgement. Do I get rewarded and appreciated for what I do? Do I get respect. The Maslow's triangle of needs. The first level is physiological need, as he pointed out: salary, food, clothing, and shelter. I'll not be able to work if I don't have a place to stay. I'll not be able to work if I don't have clothes to wear. I'll not be able to work if I don't have food to eat. First one, salary, done. Next comes the respect, the social needs. Then comes the emotional needs. And then comes the psychological needs, or the needs of esteem. Am I being respected? Am I being appreciated? And finally, the top of the pyramid, the small point at the top of the pyramid, is fulfillment. How do you know? You're from psychology?
No, but I'm familiar
With Maslow's.
but the thing is, just common sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But there is a wonderful saying which says common sense is not commonly applied. Always.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Which is fulfillment, self-actualization. Am I fulfilling? Because everybody has a dream. Is this job fulfilling my dreams, or is it going to fulfill my dreams going ahead? So that is a question. These are the core activities of HRM. Job analysis, first to find out, when you're, let's say, you're all entrepreneurs, you're all going to start your new organization. You're all going to set up a new business. So when you decide that, okay, I'm going to set up a new business, you need to first identify the task, the activities. What are going to be the activities of the business? And based on the activities, you're going to find out how many people do you need to do each activity, or can some activities be done by the same person. This is the basis of job analysis. Then comes planning. As I said, first you list out the activities and find out, to do these activities, how many people do you need? And now you plan that how many people do you need. Now, to give you something, which is a part of HR, which is not there in the course, every organization has an operational budget, right? The budget which takes care of the entire operations, salaries, rents, lease, governmental costs, everything, transportation. So every year, they define an operational budget. The thumb rule is the salary or the compensation budget is always 33% of the total operational budget, just for your information. Okay? So when you are starting your new enterprise, okay, your new business, and you have decided on an operational budget, you keep 33% plus minus 10% of cost as your compensation budget. Now when you have the compensation budget in your hand, you know how many people you can hire. Okay? Let's say you have 100,000 in your hand for salaries. That will tell you how many people you can hire. You can't hire 120,000, can you? No. So that is the HR planning. Then comes recruitment and selection. You have identified how many people you need. That I need 20 people to run my show. So then you go into recruitment and selection. However, in the job analysis, when you're doing the job analysis will also tell you what kind of skills you need to do those activities. You need engineers, you need accountants, you need salesmen, you need marketeers, what? And how many you need. And based on that, you do your recruitment and selection. Then comes the employee development. How you develop your employees after they're recruited. The onboarding and the post-onboarding training and development. How do you do your performance management? That is, do they have a structured KPIs? Do they know what to do? Have they been trained, coached, mentored, guided, motivated to do their job? Benefits and remuneration. Are they getting paid? Now, as a leader, as a strategic manager, which you are all aiming to become with this course, it is very important that you, as a department head, conduct your own compensation surveys. Don't go to a vendor. Don't go to a vendor and increase the cost. Find out five different organizations of the same industry. And ask them, use your Vasta to find out what kind of salaries do they pay for these positions. Only for your department maybe. So you will know where you are standing. And when you finally do your compensation survey, this is just an information to you. When you do your compensation survey, let's say you've taken 5 organizations in the same industry and in the same geographical location. Sitting in Kuwait, you cannot use an organization which is in Qatar or in France. Use Kuwait. So you will probably have a scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Maybe you'll have an organization which is 5, which is the best pair. You'll have an organization which is the least pair. You are safe. You are safe as long as you stand somewhere out here, around 3.5 scale. If your salaries of your department is around 3.5 on that scale, you are safe. You don't have to match the best pair. You might not have the budget. You might not have the operational budget to meet the best pair. But if you're on the scale of 1 to 5, around 3.5, you're okay. Employee relations. How do we build relationships? How do we build relationships? Your name, sir? Yusuf. Yusuf, let's say me and you are sitting at the Kuwait airport waiting for a flight. You're going somewhere, I'm going somewhere. We don't know each other. So how do we develop a relationship?
Communicate.
First we talk. Don't use terms. It scares me. Okay, communication is such a heavy term. Talk. Simple. Keep it simple. K-I-S-S. We talk. Hi, what's your name? Where are you going? Where are you from? And then, by talking, we find out something common between us. Ah, you like football. I like football too. Who is your favorite club? We talk. We go deeper. Are you from the retail industry? I'm from retail too. Which company? I'm from Carpo. We find out a mutual platform of interest. But the mother of building relations is talking, communication. But do we talk to each other? We have nowadays, like they say, that Facebook, Twitters, WhatsApps have increased connectivity, but have distanced people. Nowadays we have 250 people on our friend list, but we rarely talk to each other substantially. When we were kids, we were asked to write letters. Mom used to give us a postcard. Okay, it used to cost £1. Okay, she used to give us a postcard, and we had to write letters to all our cousins. Okay, maybe 5 lines. Dear Chris, how are you? I'm looking forward to seeing you in India soon. Okay, when are you coming to visit me in the UK? I've got a new toy. 5 lines, but that was more effective. Some of my cousins still have those letters that I have written to them. I still have some of them. But if you ask me about the Facebook posts of my friends on my wall, they have gone. I don't even remember. But, so the art, talking is more personal. But what happens in the organization is, since somebody has thrust us with the word communication, we email. dear Dima, could you please come and see me after work today at 5 o'clock? We need to discuss the new project. And then she will reply, dear Deep, I have another meeting with a client at 5 o'clock. Can we meet tomorrow? Then I'll send another reply. But I will not pick up the phone and give her a call. It's probably free, no extension. Then, hi, what are you doing? So if you're going out at 5 o'clock for a meeting, can we meet at lunch? We can have lunch together and we discuss work. We don't do that. Somebody has told us, I don't know who has told us, somebody has told us that this is professionalism.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Well, we cannot say professionalism, but we need sometimes an evidence that there were a communication between departments.
True.
Usually, when we say that I talked to her, she didn't
True.
talk to me.
You're in marketing, I'm in HR. You have told me that Deep, I need 10 staff recruited for my team by June. Okay? However, you want me to give you a report of what is the status of recruitment. Are you with the situation? Yeah. Okay. What he said is absolutely right. Sometimes we do need an evidence that he as the department head is following up on what I'm doing. However, can I not do that? Just stop by your office and, hi mate, how's things? I'm sorry, I've just got 3 of your guys, I have not been able to find the other 7, but I'm on it, I'm on the job, and I've spoken to 5 guys and 5 vendors, and they've given me this. Maybe by this weekend or by month end, I'm going to outline about 7 more folks for you, and I'll send the same to you on email as well.
That's even more effective.
Okay? And thanks for the time, man. I appreciate you holding on. That's it.
Yeah, some things, small things like that can
Some
take
things.
into phone, but there are a lot of things that you need to communicate by email.
I'm not disbanning the use of emails, but what I'm trying to emphasize here, don't distance yourself.
It's more effective.
Use the email, don't abuse it. Personal always matters. Okay, personal always matters. If you go and say that I need a favor, can you do this for me? There are 2 very powerful words in any dictionary, whether it's English, French, or Arabic. It's please and thank you. You start your sentence with a please and end with a thank you. 99% of the time you'll get your job done. Okay? Because he is seeing the recruitment manager as an email. But the recruitment manager is not an email. He's someone like him who has his own pressures, who has his own targets, who's also struggling to meet it. Okay? So I'm not saying completely take it out. After this class, stop writing emails. No, don't do that. Okay? But use it. Okay? Optimize use it. Like it's, Dima, to give you a more medical example. Lately, this has been on most of the, websites. They have been sharing it. That people have been popping antibiotics for just simple fever. Okay? You have a little bit of fever and a body ache, you will pop an antibiotic. What it does is that it lowers your immunity system. The old-time doctors, they would wait. They would first give you a paracetamol. They'll give you a diet. Okay, don't eat this, don't eat that. And then, at the last, when still it's not going, they'll give you an antibiotic. Okay? So don't jump onto the antibiotic at the first stage, in terms of communication. Health and safety. Now, let's say we have some people building bombs in the next room. How safe would you feel sitting in the classroom and talking about HR? No.
You have to be secure
Feel secure. Is this a safe place to work?
from hazards and everything.
Yes. Now, once again, going back to job analysis. You're from oil and gas. Okay. Let's talk about a project engineer who is not sitting in the Kuwait office and working, but is in the oil fields. Let's talk about a project engineer who is not in the Kuwait office, but in the oil fields. He's working there. The level of health safety for him is more high. Okay? So when you are sitting down and designing his benefits and remuneration, it will definitely be higher
Than
than other project engineer who is sitting in the Kuwait office.
Yes.
Okay? So you need to keep all this in mind when you're designing your roles, and the role doesn't only mean the job itself, but the full thing that goes with the job, the people, their salary, what kind of training they will have, okay? What's going to be the communication with them, how frequently it will be. Job analysis does this, oops, sorry, as I said, it defines a job in terms of specific tasks, what's going to be the task. Okay, but first, you outline the entire activity of the organization or the department. What are the activities required for your department? You were talking about, Hima, starting your own enterprise. So before you start your own enterprise, you need to write down what will be the activities of your enterprise. Categorically, in a micro level. Even incorporating that someone needs to bring us coffee 3 times every day. That also. So defines the job in terms of tasks. Who will be doing those tasks? What kind of skill do I need for that task? Do I need an MBA? Do I need a master's degree? Do I need a postdoc? Do I need a doctor? Now, in a job description, I'll show you a sample copy of a job description. Okay, I'm sure all of you have seen a job description. There is a part which is called personal specification. In the personal specification, which outlines your skill, knowledge, qualification, right? What kind of knowledge or qualification you need for that job, okay? Which is used for recruitment. You give it to the recruitment staff and say that this is the profile I need. Now there are 2 factors. When you write down your job description, globally it says, okay, that keep 2 facets, desirable and essential. Let me just show it to you. This is not a part of your course, but like, I am not exactly a very theoretical guy. I've always hated theories. This is a part of the certification module, but I'll still show you. Welcome, join in. Now can you see this? Guys?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is a sample copy of a job description. Okay? Now when you see this, see there are the areas of responsibilities with specific success indicators designed out there. That Mr. So-and-so, these are your responsibilities and that is the target. That is the target that I desire out of you. And the employee gets this on the very first day. The employee gets this on his induction, that this is what you need. And then you outline the activities. 1 minute. You outline the job dimensions. Job dimensions is what is he going to be responsible for? What is going to be his work? Next comes the job context. What is going to be his working hours? How long will he work? Where will he work? Which location? What will he get? Laptop, PC, car, whatnot. Okay, and then comes the key relations. What will be the key relations of that position? Internal relations, external relations. Okay, and now we talk about this, the person specification. If you see, the first one, let's say qualification. There is 2 kinds, desirable and essential. To give you a choice, an understanding, I'm looking for a wife. Okay? Desirable qualification, Angelina Jolie. Okay? But essential, my wife will do great. Okay? So, desirable is what I want, what I'm thinking of. That will be the great if I have Angelina Jolie. But my wife's qualification, she's super. She can do the job great. And she's been doing the job for the last 15 years. So what you need, this needs to come out in your analysis. When you're sitting down to do your analysis, this needs to come out. That what is the bare minimum you need? Okay? Because you have to understand one thing, that you have an operational cost to look after. You can go out and hire Angelina Jolie, but my salary would not support it. Okay? She would probably want to have 5 Ferraris in the garage. Okay, I can barely afford a Corolla. Okay? So operational budget, you need to understand. That's why I showed it to you.
Can you have a copy of this one?
This is personal. You can email me. Send me your email. I can forward this to you. Not a problem. Okay? Now, if you keep this in your hand, because it's more easier to explain to you, because seeing is feeling. I've always hated definitions. Next comes human resource planning. You have done your job analysis. You have identified the positions, not people. You have identified the positions you need in your department or in your organization. Now, you need to sit back with the help of your JD, with the job description. You need to find out how many people do you need to do this work. Let's say for SBS has 4 HRM lectures on today. How many lecturers do SBS need? 4. Because I can't be at the 4 places at the same time. I'm not Superman. Okay? So you need to find out on the basis of the activities that how many people do you need. And now comes the planning. Planning is, you might find out on the basis of your activities that you need X amount of people. But when you calculate the salaries or the compensation of those people, you find that it overshoots your budget.
Budget, yes, over budget.
So either you need to reduce the activities or you need to introduce something called commissions. That this position will do this job, his salaries will be in the according to the compensation budget. However, for the extra work that this position will do, I will give him a bonus, an incentive, or an overtime. This is planning. And this is what the gurus have to say. I don't even know what it means. HR planning is used to achieve more effective and efficient use of human resources. Optimum. You will never, ladies and gentlemen, for your information, and I'm sure you would agree with your experience, you would never get the total number of people you require. If you need 10 people to do your job, the finance controller will always give you 8 or 7.